hockey and romance. Are there any two words that are more intertwined? Yes, lots of them. But nevertheless, hockey romance is a genre that has exploded over the last few years, with notable titles such as the ones up on screen. Anyway, today I've done the hard work of explaining why this genre exists, of explaining its huge growth over the last few years, and trying to get to the bottom of what this means for us societally, because this is definitely an important thing societally. Hockey romance. And if you're out there saying, "What's hockey romance? Please tell me." It's a romance, and usually the guy plays hockey, or the guys. Sometimes it's two guys. The only real way to talk about hockey romance is to address the larger romance category. Romance in novels exploded in the late 80s and early 90s, and since then we've kind of been compounding on that. You know, romance is a fun genre. People love it. People love it. A lot of early publishers actually used to push back a bit on the idea of sports romance as a whole because it was thought of as too masculine for what was mostly at the time a feminine reading genre, I guess. Woo, cultural norms. But during that 80s and 90s time period, the romance books were just exploding, and so everything with romance in it was flying off the shelves, and enter sports romance. It first appears, obviously, as like football and basketball and things that are kind of more expected. But then around 2010, which is fairly late in terms of the sports romance game, we have a new sport emerge as romance, and that is ice hockey. And now the story's about to really start getting interesting, so buckle up. So when I was originally researching this video, I thought the explosion of popularity in these books was going to be something along the lines of hockey is growing in popularity as a sport, and thus the more people are getting into it, and thus the romance genre of it kind of explodes. Except it seems like what's happening is the opposite of that. In 2010 to 2016, which is kind of when these hockey romance books first started getting published, there wasn't a whole lot of actual attention on hockey. I mean, there have always been people that liked it, obviously, but not as many people as were getting interested in the new genre of hockey romance. And then, if you fast forward in time, as the hockey romance hype builds and we lead up to the point of, I would argue, heated rivalry is kind of still the top of the mountain here, even though there's lots of other hockey romance things happening in the sphere, the social sphere. And now, at the same time that hockey romance is having its all-time high, interest in hockey is going up and up and up. There isn't obviously enough evidence to show this, but it appears to be like an aurora boreas, like a self-feeding cycle, whereas more people read hockey romance gets more people interested into hockey. More people interested in hockey means more people reading hockey romance. The point that this makes is that these two things, both hockey romance and hockey, seem to not be connected at all. People that are reading the hockey romance aren't reading it because hockey, which is interesting. This brings us to the question of why did all this start? It's a question I ask myself every day. So when attempting to answer this, it's almost impossible without the use of short-form content, particularly TikTok, particularly BookTok. A lot of these hockey romances have things in them, I'm thinking about Icebreaker here when I say this, things that are a little bit designed to get attention. And by that, I just mean the Gru scene in Icebreaker. If you don't know about it, don't look it up. Certain types of authors will do things that are particularly designed to get a rise out of social media. If people can't stop talking about your book, whether that's good publicity or bad publicity, it's still making you money. Since 2021, BookTok has contributed to nearly $2 billion in book sales. So it's a big contributor in what gets popular and what doesn't. On the platform of TikTok, and particularly with BookTok, things that fit well into tropes are easily sold. It's an easy way to review a book. If you can say, hey, it's got enemies to lovers, it's got hockey romance, for example. And so these quickly identifiable, easy patterns establish books and market books much more effectively, particularly in short-form content. And so, with the rise of hockey romance, you can throw in all of the normal romance tropes, but it's also new because it's got hockey. And hockey is a bit of a buzzword right now, just because of the time we're in and because of the marketing that's been done. And so this is why I think hockey romance books are popular right now. Societally, what does this mean for the future of humanity? Are we all going to die because of hockey romance books? No. Instead, what I think this means is that there is a call for media to be something that you can simplify, to give reviews, and to share your experience with it. Something you can simplify down into tropes. And so I think what we will see as media progresses is a lot more of these commonly used tropes, particularly in the romance and romantasy genres. But also, I think this will spill over into other books as well. As far as will this make media worse or better, it could do both. I think that some authors will do this just to check off boxes. Some movies will do this just to check off boxes. Like, oh yeah, we got the enemies to lovers in there. Check. And that might ultimately make a story fall short, but just like there is within every genre, there are going to be people who are true masters of it and people who aren't that good at it. So only time will tell if this makes media worse, if this continues to enshitify the world. That's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, I do new videos every Tuesday. And yeah. Peace. Also, we hit my subscriber goal of 53 subscribers before Christmas. So that's awesome. Thank you so much if you are a current subscriber or if you have subscribed. Love it. I guess the new goal is going to be 103 subscribers before Christmas. Can we hit 103 subscribers before Christmas? All right. I'll be back next time.